It's your brother Nubreed coming through with another live stream. The disrespect is real. I'm going to allow YouTube to send a notification out. Make sure y'all double tap the screen on your way in. Get the likes up. What's going on, everybody? So Donald Trump is sabotaging MLK Day to promote his own birthday? So he's cutting off access to public parks. We're talking about free entry. And he's restructuring things at these public parks to celebrate his birthday. Yeah, he's sabotaging MLK Day. Earlier, I spoke about this while it was breaking news, by the way. And y'all know I'm out of town handling some business with family. So, I didn't know. I may have misspoke earlier. I thought he canceled MLK Day because that's how the headlines was reading. But I had to go do my research. And y'all got my initial reaction. But nonetheless, what is taking place is as equally screwed up. It's screwed up. I mean, okay, so let's put everything into consideration right now, what Donald Trump just did and how egregious this is. First of all, let's understand what it means to sabotage something. It means to undermine, contaminate, destroy, sully. And we're talking about the plans of any event, organization, whatever it is. He's sabotaging Martin Luther King Day. And we knew about this back in January that this would start happening. January 2025, beginning of the year. When he was doing all these DEI cuts and they were talking about targeting black holidays. And now nearly a year later, Trump got the gumption to actually begin the process. So what he's doing is incredibly disrespectful to the black community. And what he's also doing is carrying the legacy of Charlie Kirk. Because Charlie Kirk say he believes that the civil rights was a mistake and that Martin Luther King was a horrible person. So white supremacy is taking a step forward after what was announced in December 2025. And you can go look it up. The Pentagon actually released a statement saying that they were going to cease to acknowledge our holidays. MLK Day, including Juneteenth. So now they've taken the steps to getting that done. And it's extremely disrespectful. It's extremely disrespectful. And the rednecks, they're celebrating. The raccoons, they're celebrating. They're celebrating seeing our culture be erased and tarnished. Why? Because foundational black Americans are the most hated. We're just the most hated. And it's inevitable that these heathens and these devils would celebrate Martin Luther King being erased out of the history books. Surely they would. Because Martin Luther King was more than just the I Have a Dream speech. Martin Luther King was talking about getting our land back. You remember one of his last speeches, MLK said, "Hey, we finna march down to the Capitol and get our check. We want our land grants." You know, they tried to use the "I Have a Dream" speech to be some type of dog whistle to keep us in line, some spell to keep us in check. But Martin Luther King was a revolutionary. They hid, exactly, Tania, they hid the best of what MLK stood for. They absolutely did. And now we got this orange man in office who got caught up in the Epstein email blowing Bubba. Blowing Bubba is what it said he was doing. And we come to find out that Ghislaine Maxwell had a horse named Bubba, and Donald Trump, and also Bill Clinton, former president, his nickname was Bubba. In Epstein's emails, he was blowing Bubba. That's what he was doing, according to Epstein. And then now this individual is talking about getting rid of Martin Luther King Day, because that's exactly what he's talking about doing. Now, what's crazy about all of this is, what he don't understand is our people not going for that. FBAs are not going for that. Foundational Black Americans are not going to allow it. He wants to get it shut down federally, but our people fought for that. Our people protested. Our people took our kids out of school on Martin Luther King Day. Our people stood up for our brother. Our people shut it down, and they went out there and marched to make sure that we had a day that empowered our brother. So they can try to get it on the federal level, then they got it on a House level. They got it on an executive level. As of now, white supremacy has 2 of the 3 slots they need to try to shut down Martin Luther King Day. But we fought for it. We fought for Martin Luther King Day federally. So now that we can comprehend what's taking place right here, FBA, Foundational Black Americans, fought for Martin Luther King Day. These devils and heathens and raccoons, Sambos, tethers, and turncoats, they want to celebrate the fact that Donald Trump just took steps in the direction of trying to sabotage Martin Luther King Day. Yeah, we're not going for that. We're not going for that. See, unlike these heathens, we actually got heroes. They wanted to give us a Charlie Kirk Day. We got actual heroes that fought and died for the civil liberties that we have today. And what's astonishing about all of this is that you got a lot of people who don't want to speak up and represent. You got a lot of people who just want to bow down and curl up in the corner and allow white supremacy to rule over them. No, I'm going to speak up for Brother Martin. I'm going to speak up for Brother Malcolm. I'm going to speak up for all those brothers because they put in the work. They wasn't cowards. They died for what they believed in. And the disrespect that has become normalized in today's society is sickening. It's really repulsive. But I can assure you this, our people not going for that. Our people are not going for that, bro. Earlier I did a stream talking about that Trump canceled Martin Luther King Day because that's how it was announced on multiple news platforms. And in a way, he is erasing the history. Just like they predicted Just like they said in the Pentagon back in January. If you're going to sit up here and shut down the public parks and replace it with your birthday, you're disrespecting our culture. You're disrespecting our day. You're disrespecting the work that martyr put in. Y'all got to understand that what these white supremacists are doing is slowly erasing history. Slowly erasing history is what white supremacy is doing. Because you got Generation X, then you got the Gen Zs. The Gen Zs, they barely know about Martin Luther King Day. They just know it's a day off of school for them. But then you got this next generation after. They're not going to know nothing about Martin Luther King Day. Because there won't be, if they're able to do this, there will be no festivities connected to it. Martin Luther King will become just like one of these dead presidents that nobody cared about. Nobody cares. Who cares about Columbus Day? Your ass is off of school. You don't care. You don't even know Columbus. Who cares about what a President's Day? Listen, our people don't care about that. But when Martin Luther King Day come, there was some commemoration there. There was some knowing that somebody legitimately got out there and had a strong stance that got him assassinated. You knew that Martin Luther King was a somebody. But what the Trump administration is attempting to do is sully and sabotage the day, because that's exactly what he's doing, sabotaging Martin Luther King Day. To do what? Replace it with his birthday. So when you offer school federally because of the fight that MLK put in, you're out of school. But guess what? When you go to the parks, when you go to the meet and greets, it's got Trump, it's got the orange man on the banner, and you celebrating this damn devil's birthday. There's some sick stuff going on. And I do not think that our people are going to go for that. I don't think FBAs are going to stand for that. I really hope FBAs speak up. Everybody who represent a foundational Black American, I really hope y'all go hard on this, because this is how these devils do. He did it. Trump did this strategically. Trump did this strategically. Why did I say that? Because he knows that FBAs have an issue with Somalians, because they be pretending to be us and they be committing crimes. And we have a problem. We have an issue with tethers in general. Anybody that is pretending to be us and they're committing crimes, we have a problem with that. Or anybody who comes over here to America as an immigrant and they are benefiting off of our plight, and then they turn around and they disrespect us, disregard us, and try to take what is owed to us. Those are tethers too. You know, tethers are people who want to grandize themselves or financially benefit off of the plight of foundational Black Americans while disrespecting and hating foundational Black Americans. That's what a tether is. And these tethers, of course, they have no place. They're just fighting for white supremacy. They're just trying to align themselves. They can care less about our platitude. And so what Trump did essentially was he started talking all kind of dirt. He started talking crazy about the Somalians. Boy, he was going in on the Somalians. He said nobody likes them. They come over here and commit crimes. And he knew that FBA's Foundational Black Americans would fit in with that because they've been framing us. They've been framing us. Them along with other tethers have been framing us for crimes for a long time now. A lot of people in the prison population today that you think we're committing all these crimes, no, it'll be people from overseas. It'll be Africans and Somalians that just are black, that they just have melanin. They be stealing cars and robbing folks and raping folks and stealing people's animals, and that ain't us. That ain't us who was born and raised and have a lineage to America. That is not us doing that. So when Trump went and spoke on the Somalis the way he did, it let our defenses down. And he did that strategically. He said, okay, I got these niggas' defenses down. And now that, I threw a stone and hit it, let me go attack Martin Luther King Day and Juneteenth like we considered doing at the beginning of the year. The time is now. See, these people are strategic in what they're doing. Very much strategic. Yeah. See, there's going to come a time where our people start really pushing back. Pretty Tings, thank you for the support. I appreciate it. It says, you are a beacon of hope. No matter the adversity, we in the black community endure. Our spirit remains unbreakable. We will never give up. We will never surrender. Absolutely. And I thank you for the support. I appreciate you. Somebody says it's definitely going down though. Yeah, they can stop the shenanigans, bro. Our people are not going to stand for that. Listen, we're the ones who protested and picketed and took our kids out of school to begin with when it comes to Martin Luther King. So I know we're going to do the same thing. You know why? Because you got people like myself and others. You got people like myself and others who are going to carry the baton and actually give you the history. People who are going to actually tell you the truth and what these white supremacists and tether culture is doing. It's nothing but the truth I'm speaking right now. There's no lies told. The algorithm might not award that because they like our people to be blind and docile and dormant. But I'm not going to give up speaking the truth ever. Trump is out here sabotaging Martin Luther King Day. Somebody says, right, it's not about black and white anymore. It's about good and evil. That's exactly what it's about. But you got these YT supremacists and these different factions out here who are really trying to spin the narrative because they're imploding. They're really imploding. You got a lot of internal battles going on the strong right, so-called conservatives. You got Candace Owens battling with pretty much battling with a Turning Point USA, which I knew was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen. You got multiple entities battling each other. You got the Nick Fuentes, he's going against Tucker Carlson. The list goes on and on. They're imploding. And then you got all these bigoted race traders who are also battling for position in their social media hierarchy. Yeah. Somebody says people still going to celebrate even bigger. I'm going to tell you, Now that they cut off access to the parks, what our people gonna do is our people are gonna just straight up, they gonna be doing it old school cookout style right at the crib. They gonna do it old school cookout style right at the crib. You're gonna see people throwing down. People still gonna keep their kids out of school, even if they try to get it on a federal level, which they're pushing for it. They want to rewrite history. They want you to think that slavery was indentured servitude. When they start coming out the critical race theory, they were basically setting the stage to get rid of our history. They don't want you to know about Marcus Garvey. They don't even want you to know about slavery. They don't want you to know about any of the history. And the fact that we are literally taking some lineage, stating claim to our lineage here in America, that is a real issue for white supremacists. A couple, on Thanksgiving, I did a stream about how that was the slaughter of the foundational Black American Indians, and I brung out all the facts. See, when you start stating claim to the land and understanding that when you state claim to being foundational to this land, it cuts off a lot of the things that they try to do, a lot of the lies they try to tell. It stops them from stealing from you and undermining you. Because if you're claiming that you were here and you're native to the land, you cannot no longer be identified as someone foreign. And you can't be treated as someone foreign, and it will show that they actually owe you. They don't want us to have access to this information. And for the most part, a lot of people on social media don't care about this topic. I've noticed that. Not a lot of people are getting a whole lot of numbers talking about this. But I care about this. I'm passionate about this because I know what this means for the future. When they're able to slide in like they are and replace one of our renowned brothers with this buffoon's birthday, we got a problem. It's problematic, y'all. It's problematic. I'm simply trying to get my people to understand. Somebody says, we FBAs is strong and powerful. They hate our spirits because they not like us. That's true. That's true, man. We too strong, man. And I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of tethered envy, a lot of tethered jealousy. Because we just stand too bold. We just can't be broken. We just resilient. And they're not going to break Martin Luther King Day. Trump is trying. The key word is Trump is trying to sabotage. He's sabotaging it, but he's trying to shut down Martin Luther King Day and Juneteenth. He's trying. Yep. The Audacity TV says black people going to do us no matter what. This little move got me glowing. Keep it 100. Keep it 100 with you. Somebody said, and Donald Trump is the one who told you about Juneteenth. Yeah, when it came to them DEI cuts, Donald Trump, he decided that he would align himself with white supremacists to buy time. But anyway, I'm about to come back with some more material on some things I want to talk about while I'm out here chopping it up with y'all. There's a few things I want to discuss. So I'm going to hop right back on this jump in a moment. But I had to touch on this. You know, earlier I spoke on this briefly when the news first broke. But, you know, I see that my algorithm out here in Ohio, it ain't really what it need to be. It ain't really what it need to be. You know, certain states I travel, my algorithm is good. Some states I travel, nobody get notified. That's just how it works. I'll be back home soon, though. And when I come back home, I'm going to be stronger than ever. Understanding that we got the power to heal. Oh, man, I'm coming back stronger than ever. Yeah. But we coming right back. We coming right back. So y'all stay tapped in. I'm going on another stream after this because I got something I want to chop it up with y'all about. Peace and blessings to y'all. One.